Welcome to a much delayed 52 circles. Now prompt is back to front. I'm using an old cyanotype sample in reverse just to give me a template to stitch around. And this is tricky, this one, because I want to replicate that effect where sometimes you've done some stitching and you turn over the reverse and see that it's more interesting sometimes than the front. So I'm trying to stitch quite a kind of controlled, neat kind of image, if you like, or pattern on the front of my sample, my calico, using some seed stitching and then a back stitch and a contrasting thread to pick out a motif. And just taking my time, trying not to think too much about what's happening on the reverse of the fabric. So trying to be mindful and keeping my focus on what's happening with the stitch on the front, and combining colours and just building up a general kind of pattern, using some oddments of thread that I've just got lying around, left over from other projects. So again, trying to just make use of whatever's on hand in the studio. Including some tapestry wool, which you'll see in a minute I immediately regretted because it's really tough to pull through the fabric, but did give me quite an interesting effect. So just doing some really long kind of running stitch with that tapestry wool just to give a contrast to the line, a slightly thicker thread, but very, very challenging to work with on this kind of fabric, not what it's designed for at all. But persevering with that just to put a little kind of line through the middle. I then did some machine stitch, which unfortunately my camera didn't record. So I just dropped the teeth on my sewing machine and did some freehand zigzag stitching just to break up that dense blue colour. And it ends up with quite a painterly effect, which I enjoyed. Anyway, have fun with your back to front sample and I look forward to seeing your creations.